The handouts are courtesy of Russia's military. After bombing much of this country into submission, swinging the war in President Bashar al-Assad's favour, they're now the great providers, keen to show their humanitarian side. Russia is with you, is what's written on these plastic bags. This is Khan Sheikhoun in southern Idlib, recently recaptured by Assad's forces. It was here 2 years ago that the regime dropped what was thought to be sarin gas on its own people. An attack so appalling, the US launched retaliatory airstrikes, its first direct military intervention in this 8-year war. But don't mention the crimes of Syria's president here. In the nearby town of Syrian, we're met by all singing Assad-supporting crowds, soundtrack to a hollow victory. There is the other side of the front line, the remaining part of Idlib province which still eludes President Assad, now largely in the hands of the jihadist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. We're on a Russian military press tour, just a few miles here from the front line. They show us tunnels recently vacated by opposition fighters, complete with a workshop for producing drones, even a prison and solitary confinement cell. Along the way through the windows of our armoured vehicle, mile after mile of deserted towns and villages, flattened as the regime advanced into Idlib. For now, a month-old ceasefire is holding. But Assad's forces still have plenty of fight left in them. These are new recruits on exercise near Damascus, ready for deployment north.
أن يغتصب نساءنا ولا أن يقتل أطفالنا ولا أن يقطع حياتنا سنتابع حياتنا ومن حق الدولة السورية أن تفرض سيادتها على كامل الجغرافيا السورية ويقيننا مطلق بأننا سننتصر.
As for Russia, it has what it wants in Syria, the Hmeimim air base and Tartus naval facility, and a return to the influence it held in Cold War times. The fighter jets which pounded rebel-held areas are fewer than they were, but they're still flying. For all the military prowess and strong foothold now in the Middle East, there is the reconstruction of this country, which Russia certainly does not have the economic wherewithal for, and the process of reconciliation, which it is questionable whether the Assad regime has the political will for. We're taken to Aleppo, past what's left of what was the rebel-held East, decimated in the 4-year fight for this city. Volunteers are making a start on the famous old market in the centre, shut since 2012. A 15-year-old boy in a Moscow t-shirt does his bit for the cameras. In amongst all this rubble, it's a surprise to turn a corner and see one section beautifully restored. The gist from our minders that sanctions should be lifted, refugees should return, that there's a brightening future here. But as Syria and its neighbours agitate for refugees to come home, aid groups warn of detentions and disappearances, of recruitment to the armed forces. The Syrian Network of Human Rights estimates that 2,000 returnees have gone missing since 2017.
الوطن يفتح أبوابه لكل أبنائه موالين ومعارضين في ظل خضوعهم للقانون. الخضوع للقانون يعني أن السوري داخل سوريا وخارج سوريا ينطبق عليه القانون.
But for too many, it is not that there are only ruins to return to. It is that there is a leader they have no reason to trust. Diana Magnay, Sky News, Khan Sheikhoun, Syria.